The silence. It was the worst thing. Not the kind of silence you get in an empty room, no. This was the kind that screams inside your head, a hollow echo of a laugh that vanished too soon. Years. It had been years since Lily. Since she wasn't here anymore. Every single day the same thought, a persistent, cruel whisper. If only. If only I'd been home. If only I'd checked. If only I hadn't let that stupid argument. Well, it doesn't matter now, does it? Just the suffocating weight of what I did, or rather, what I didn't do. Guilt. It's a physical thing, you know? Like a stone tied to your chest, dragging you down, down, down. And it always pulled me back to this house. Our house. Now, just a skeletal frame holding on to ghosts. Dust motes danced in the slivers of weak sunlight, slicing through the grimy windows like tiny, uncaring spirits. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of decay and forgotten memories. Every creak of the floorboards beneath my feet was a conversation with the past, a hushed reminder of footsteps that once ran riot. Lily's room. I couldn't go in there. Not yet. Maybe never. It was still exactly as she left it, I think. Or at least as I left it. I couldn't bring myself to clean it, to touch anything. It felt like erasing her somehow, like the final betrayal. So I always walked past, my eyes fixed instead on the narrow, dark door at the end of the hall. The attic. It always called to me, a silent, knowing presence. Like it held the answers, or maybe, just maybe, the penance I so desperately craved. The steps to the attic groaned under my weight, each one a sigh of resignation. Up here, the air was even colder, stagnant, heavy with something more than just dust. It was the weight of every lost toy, every discarded dream, every forgotten moment. I swept my hand over a dusty rocking horse, its painted eyes eerily still. Lily's, from when she was tiny. My throat tightened. She used to call this her pony. The space was a labyrinth of shadows, old trunks, broken furniture, things nobody wanted but couldn't quite throw away. A perfect metaphor for my life, really. I was looking for something, I knew that much. A sign, a reason, a way to feel her again, just for a second. And then, a faint whisper, almost imperceptible, brushed past my ear. My name. Or was it just the wind? No, the window was shut tight. It started subtly, a fleeting shadow in the corner of my eye, a quick movement that vanished as soon as I turned my head. Then, the scent. Not the dust, not the decay, but something sweet, like Lily's. Her favorite. And then, the sound. A faint giggle, high-pitched, childish, followed immediately by a catch, a small, choked sob. My breath hitched. It was her. It had to be. My heart hammered against my ribs, not from fear, not yet, but from a desperate, terrifying hope. Was she here? Had she been here all along, waiting? Or was this just my mind, finally breaking under the strain? I remembered that last day, the stupid argument about her drawing on the wall. I'd walked out, slamming the door, needing to calm down. "I'll be back in 5 minutes, Lily. Don't move." 5 minutes. That 5 minutes became an eternity. The gas leak, the explosion. God, Lily. I stumbled, my hand catching on something hard. An old, ornate mirror, propped against a stack of forgotten boxes, its surface clouded with years of neglect. I wiped away some of the grime, my reflection slowly emerging. A gaunt, broken man. But then, behind me, in the murky depths of the glass, a faint, translucent figure began to coalesce. Small, indistinct at first, then clearer. Lily. Her face, so young, so innocent. Her eyes, though, they weren't joyful. They held a profound, aching sorrow and accusation. She didn't speak a word, but her presence, her silent gaze, it communicated everything. You left me. You weren't there. The horror wasn't just seeing her. a ghost of my child. It was seeing myself reflected through her eyes. A monster, a failure. "Lily, oh Lily, I'm so sorry," I choked out, tears finally streaming down my face, hot and relentless. I sank to my knees, burying my face in my hands, begging for forgiveness, for a chance to undo it all. The spectral figure in the mirror seemed to shift, to move. I looked up, trembling. She was no longer in the reflection. She was standing before me, translucent, shimmering, her tiny hand slowly extending towards me. I squeezed my eyes shut, bracing myself for the cold touch, the judgment. But as her hand reached me, it didn't touch. It didn't push. It enveloped. It merged. A wave, a freezing torrent washed over me, and I wasn't just in the attic anymore. I was back there in the chaos, the heat, the smoke. I felt the terror, the searing pain, the suffocating blackness. Her last moments, my betrayal. I was living it, experiencing it truly for the very first time. When I opened my eyes, the attic was still there, but it felt different, more real somehow, yet utterly unreal. The dust was heavier, the silence deeper, a profound, eternal quiet. I tried to push myself up, but my limbs felt weighted, ethereal. I looked at my hands, my trembling hands, and gasped. They were translucent. My reflection in the grimy mirror was no longer a gaunt, broken man. It was a pale, shimmering figure, a ghost. I was the ghost. I hadn't just come to the house seeking penance. I had become the penance. Perhaps I had died here that day, consumed by guilt, drawn back to the very place I had failed. I was not haunting the house. I was the haunting. A child's laughter, faint and distant, drifted through the stagnant air. It was pure, untainted by sorrow, a memory of Lily before the tragedy. I could see her, playing in the sun-drenched garden, her small hand reaching for a butterfly. This was the true terror, the chilling insight. I was bound here, not by a curse, not by some external spirit, but by the chains of my own unabsolved regret. I was the guardian of my own sorrow, forever trapped in this ghostly attic, condemned to relive the echoes of my failure. The true horror wasn't the ghost, it was me, and I would stay, forever trapped with the phantom of my past, in the silence that spoke volumes. If this story gave you chills, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more terrifying tales.